Welcome to this look at a new map to Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. So this is ERLENGRAT, the Alpine Farming Expansion / DLC released this morning in the UK at 10 o'clock. On Mod Review yesterday I put up a release schedule for the times around the world. It didn't cover all time zones, but you know, I didn't make it, I just put it up. So here we are. I'm doing this on PlayStation 4 Pro. In all honesty, I did get an early access PC version of this from Giants. Very kindly, thank you to Giants for sending it to me. And my PC, I've been having a whole load of problems with it with regard to Farming Simulator specifically. I can't get new maps. I'm having all sorts of problems. I'm in the process of uninstalling everything to reinstall it again. So I couldn't do it. Not that I was going to, because I play on PS4. So here we are. Now, this expansion DLC, we had the update the other day from Giants, which did most of the legwork on this. If you are a season pass holder, you will get it for free because you already have a season pass. So you just, even if it says a price, when you click on it, it won't charge you. You can download it, or it shouldn't charge you. I know that can often be problems around the world. With every DLC that's been released, with various different things like that. If not, I think it was €19.99. I'm sure when I clicked on it to download just now it said £15.99. I'm sure it did. Is it worth it for that money? You get a brand new map, you get 30 plus vehicles. Some of those bits of machinery we already have in-game versions of. It comes down to a personal preference. I always say that with regard to DLCs and things like that. I like it. I would have downloaded it anyway because I'm a YouTuber and this is what I do. Will you? That will all depend. If you have a look around this now, you might decide this is brilliant. I love it. Now, graphically, quite a few changes. Grass textures. We've got added tree types. There's all sorts of stuff has been done on this. We've got some new buildings. The new farmhouse is a more alpine looking building for this one specific. There's a whole load of new stuff. It is quite impressive. Now, there is no megabyte download for this because once you've downloaded and installed the DLC, this becomes one of the base game maps. So you'll have Ravenport, Felsbrunn and ERLENGRAT are your base game maps now. So there's not a megabyte download per se. Are contracts available? Yes, they are. There are contracts available on this map. Crop types, there are no additional crop types. It's the standard crops that you get in-game normally. Are there any custom mods? Well, there are technically because of the DLC. I'm gonna do separate mod reviews. That's the one I want. I'm going to do separate mod reviews because we have got quite a few vehicles and bits of machinery. So I'm going to split it up into vehicles, implements, just to get through it all. In one mod review it'd be too long, so that's how I'll be looking at it. But as far as placeables and things go, under miscellaneous we now have an electric charging station because we have an electric tractor as part of this expansion. I've got the straw harvest on. That works with it, and it is also seasons ready. It's good to go with seasons, completely compatible. Decoration, we have got a farm garage as part of the Alpine Farming pack. 16 slots. There are no additional animal pens. It's the standard Giants pens. Silos, it's all standard. Under sheds we do have, oh no we don't, it was the that was under decoration, farm garage. And then farmhouses, we've got the new Alpine Farming pack, Alpine Lodge house. Now that says 16 slots there. And as you can see, as far as slots go, I'm playing on New Farmer, which I do for all my map tours. On console, or on PlayStation 4 at least, 730 out of 1299 slots used. Now that seems fairly high. But if we go across very quickly and we go to Garage and look at what we start with, we've got a lot of equipment. And it's showcasing a lot of the Alpine Farming pack equipment. So we have got the new Lintrack 130, the SKE 50 electric Rigitrack. We've got the new Bura 6105. We've got the AEB CC66 push mower. We've got a few kind of old favourites. We've got the Lizard pickup, Fortschritt HW, and then we've got Pottinger Servo 25, MrSealyp F240. So we've got, again, more Alpine expansion stuff. The Alpine Hit 4.4 Pottinger Tedder. We've got the Top 342 Windrower. We've got the Boss Alpine 251 loading wagon. The Impress 125F Pro baler. Some of those, the slot counts are fairly high. We've got the Schmetterling, which we've had in game for a while, the MKS 8, the Aquatrans 7300S. Front loader equipment, weights. We have got a cow pasture that we start with, and a grain silo, a bunker silo small, easy shed, water station, electric charging station, and the farmhouse. Now what I don't understand is, we've only got one farmhouse, and down there that's saying plus 38. So that's saying that's 38 slots. But weirdly, if I go back across to here and down to farmhouses, that says it's 16. Now we don't have two farmhouses placed. So that's a bit puzzling. If you come onto this map on Farm Manager or start from scratch, the slot counts drop to 532. But you don't start with anything. This area here is completely flat. No cow pasture, no shed, no farmhouse, no machinery, no easy shed, silo, nothing. But the slot count is down to 532. And I did check to see, can you replace or place things on this bit here? You absolutely can. It's pretty flat. So anyway, let's get on with it. The farmhouse. Actually, I'm going out of sequence here a little bit, aren't I? I'm just thinking of my regular kind of mod reviews. What we should do, really, is have a look at the map first, which is what we normally do. So on New Farmer, what do we start with? We start with this area here, which is our main farm with farmhouse and all the rest of it. Field prices and things do vary, as you might expect. 172,000, 180,000, trying to find a nice small one, 107, 92, up to some fairly large plots. Now all of the farming is on the low-lying land, pretty much. And all up around here is your alpine pastures, and it's pretty steep and it goes up a long way. So there's a lot of grass work and things to be done, because in the alpine regions there's a lot of cheese making, chocolate, all those kind of things which requires milk. So a lot of it is cows and it is grazing and it is pasture land, which we're going to get to. But those plots aren't all that expensive either. When you think about the amount of grass you get, really, it's not too bad. I mean, looking at some of those, yeah, it's alright. Now you can't buy the main town area, and if you look at some of these plots, you don't get the road bits included either. So for placing things, if you wanted to pick somewhere else to be your farm location, so if you picked one of these alpine pastures and said, I'm going to pick this house, I don't think you're going to be able to put like a placeable doormat or anything like that on the actual location where the building is, which is a pity. But you know, you could put it next to it, I guess. But so you could do that if you wanted to. Biogas plant you have to buy, and it's not a bad price, which is pretty good. 120 grand ish, 119,936 for the biogas plant. So if you want to do any biogas plant work, you need to own the biogas plant. So yeah, fuel prices are pretty good. Like I said, we're going to have a look around. It's a very picturesque map, very picturesque area. The I don't think it's a specific place. It's kind of a generic alpine location. So anyway, yes, farmhouse. Sleep trigger is just here. We can't get into the building. Cows. Now this again is something a little bit different. You do start off with 10 cows. So if we go into the menu and go across, we do start with 10. 5 brown and white, 5 black and white. They do have a little bit of feed. Cleanliness is okay, but not a lot, and they have no total mixed ration. So you can either sell them all and start again, or you can quickly get into a situation where you need to prep some stuff. Although we do start with some bales, which we're going to have a look at as well in a minute. So in our garage, our Alpine garage, we have got a pickup. As we've already seen, we've got the little electric. I'm going to use that to go around because it sounds brilliant. It's not particularly fast. The pickup would be quicker, but I like that. Like I say, we're going to get into the mod reviews of those a little bit later. And we've got our Lintrack just there, the Bureau just there, and the various different bits of equipment. We've got our trailer, and as we move around the yard, water, our bunker silo just here, our silo, which is a standard 100,000 litre regular crop silo, our easy shelter with some more of our equipment. And we do start off with some bales. So you do have some straw, you do have some hay bales here already. So if you bought the biogas plant, you could crack on, get some grass work done, and get some silage on the go if you wanted to. Now what is nice is looking around. I mean, you don't seem to get that kind of blur or the distance blur that we've had before on certain maps, and which is quite nice. And as we move around, there are different points where you've got cable cars that run up the mountainsides, which we'll get a look at as we go around the map. You can't actually get to them, but you can see them. They are there. So this is the main farm. We're going to head down from here out towards the coast first. There's a couple of locations I want to go and have a look at, which aren't sell points, but are just kind of really picturesque. And what I will say with this map, is, like any other, is have a search around, have a look about, you know. So, that's it, started up. I know there are quite a few hybrid tractors about now. So this Rigitrack, the SKE50 electric, it's not necessarily something new, but I know New Holland do a methane-powered tractor as well. There's all sorts knocking about. The charging point is just over here, and the fuel runs down, the electric charge runs down like any other vehicle does, and then when you need to charge it, we bring it over to here. And it does say in the menu, I think press L3, start charging, press L3. But it doesn't need charging at the moment, because I've only just used it. But that's how you charge. You just drive up to it, press L3, it will go green and start charging, which is rather cool. So what we're going to do is head out of the yard this way, I think. So as I said before, the grass textures are like, I say new, I mean there's some different colours in there as well now. It looks very thick and lush. I'm going to head down this way to the main road. The road texturing's great. Oh no, I shouldn't have said that. The posts by the side of the road, I'll edit that bit out, don't have collisions. And as we go around, there are some fences around the side of the fields, which I did think immediately, oh, that's going to be a problem. But they don't have collisions either, so you don't have to worry. They are there for the look, and it does look great. So these little fences here, I thought that's going to make people quite annoyed because that's going to be a problem, but no collisions on those. Now there is a railway, and the railway is linear, it's not a circuit. It runs from the bottom of the map here up to the top of the map. You can switch to trains if you want to, if the train is on the map. If it's not, you can't. So you kind of got to wait for it. And there's a reason for that, because the train goes off to Felsbrunn, which is quite cool. We'll get onto that in a little while as well. So this is the railroad silo east. Putting into the silo, this is not a sell point, this is a storage silo. 200,000 litre capacity. Oh, there you go, the train's coming past now. At some point we will need to stop it. There we go. So that will run along here, then up the map. We're going to have a look at that later, and we'll have a bit of a ride on that hopefully. Just wondering how long this tour will end up being. So the railroad runs all the way up here, up, and then out there, and it says Felsbrunn Grain Mill. So we'll get onto that in a little while. So you can put into the silo from the road, you can also put into the trains from the silo, or vice versa, to store. So if you want to use it that way, you absolutely can. Heading up this way, traffic's a little bit aggressive, isn't it? We've got a livestock market, which is just here. And I'm liking the fact as well, it's all newly designed, it's a different look, it's a different feel. So there you go, animal dialogue box. If you want to come and collect your animals yourself, you can do it here from the livestock market. If we carry on driving that way, north on this western side of the map, you get to the edge of the map. You can't actually get as far as the cable cars. Round the back we've got the barn sell point. Just here. If we continue down this little bit here, we get to a little marina by the side of the lake. Just here. It's very crisp, it's very clean. Very nice indeed. Right. What I'm going to do now is head back up past where I just was, and we're going to go east a little bit, and we're going to head towards the sawmill, lime station, then head into the town. We've done a bit in the town, we're going to come back out again just over the other side over there because we've got a couple more sell points. Then we're going to continue heading east towards the biogas plant, but we'll try and get as much in as we possibly can, again to get a kind of feel for the map. We do have a fuel station, petrol station, just along here. The bridges and detailing are great. The train line goes up through the main town. There's a train station, and it's really, really nice. What I also like as well, we've got some nice little touches here. So at the fuel station, one thing I was a little bit disappointed, there's not a charging point here at the fuel station, which would have been a nice touch, and it would have been quite cool. But what we do have, it's very nice. I like it. It's a nice touch. So, what we'll do is head back around. It is stunning scenery. I mean, you can't take away from that. Love it or hate it. I know this has been a bit of a kind of Marmite thing in the lead up to it. A lot of people questioning the fact that, well, it's just a grass map. We've got loads of grass stuff. We've got, you know, people wanting something a bit different. This is a bit different. I mean, it's an amazing looking map. But I know a lot of people don't want to just do cows and grass work and dairy stuff. I get that. You know. But I don't know, they've got to pick something. They've got to pick something somewhere and do it, you know. I'm kind of torn between the two. You know, there's a lot of new stuff that's come out with this, including this new map. And there's also a few bits and bobs in here that we do have already variants of. And you'll see that when we do the kind of DLC look. So, as we come up on the sawmill, which is just here, so our wood chip sell point is just there. Our lumber sell point is just here. And we do have a lime station. Just here. We cross the river and head into the town. So crossing the railway again, heading south. We're going to go to the next of the storage points. So this is Railroad Silo West, and we do have the point here for unloading from the train just there, so we can put it into the silo. Do I want to try and stop the train? No, we'll let it go past. I'll stop it in a little while because there's something I want to show you. And then obviously we've got the roadside part of this. Again, this is 200,000 litres and it will hold your main crop types. I think it also does potato, sugar beet, and I want to say sugarcane, because that bit's just here. Like down the bottom here, which would be the floodplain, I guess, glacial, is all very flat. So if you don't want to use it all necessarily for field work, you could maybe build a farm or do whatever you want to do down here. Now what we have got here, I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, is the Lichty Chocolatier. Now, I did a bit of looking up on this. Urs Lichty is a master chocolatier who works for Lindt, and he's the head of product development at Lindt, Switzerland. So this is one of our sell points. We're going to go around and have a look at that in a second as well. So if we go across one, we go down to Lechty Chocolatier and go across. Of course, what they want is milk. So we do have quite a few milk sell points on this one as well. The grain mill takes it too, as does the Käserei ERLENGRAT, which is a dairy for making cheese, more specifically, I think. So what we'll do is we'll go this way around, I think. So we're going this way here. The chocolatier sell point is just in here. If we come out this side, it's an amazing building. We've got the main store pretty much opposite. Nice big open expanse, so when you buy machinery you're not going to have any problems getting stuff in and out. It should be no problem at all. Our repair, maintain, sell point is just there, customization. Buy point is just there unless you're going to do it from your main menu, but you can do it from here. And this is also the reset point. So if you have any problems, as I always say, tip things over, get them stuck in ditches, or you just decide you want to reset it because you can't be bothered to drive it. The reset point is just here. Okay, right, from here I think what I'll probably do is head out to those two over there. We've got a couple of sell points over there. I think it's sell points. Oh, it's a lime station, isn't it? So we've got a lime station and the grain mill we're going to head to. There's a lovely hotel up on the hillside just there, which hopefully we'll get a look at too. And there's a sort of business centre, conference centre, hotel further up on the hillside. It's huge, up on kind of stilted on the side of the. It's amazing. I don't know. I really like it. Like I say, you know, I can understand people's possible frustrations, but again, like anything, you can't please everybody. You know, Giants had to pick something somewhere. And whatever they chose, I guess some people would have been over the moon with, some people would have said, oh, you know. That's very good. I said, that's a dad joke, that is. Did I use that one when I did my potato harvest on Stone Valley? I don't think I did. So, grain mill is just here. I think the lime station was the other side of the road. These are big buildings. There you go, lime station just opposite. Just there. Back into the town. I'm just hoping I don't miss any of the sell points. Make sure I get them all in. I think up this road we've got the Käserei ERLENGRAT, which is another sell point for milk, but that's the dairy for cheese. There's loads of posters and things all over the place. There's so much stuff to have a look at. It has a really nice feel to it. So what we'll do is when we get to here, this is what I wanted to stop and have a quick look at before we get round to the sell point, is this. Look, in there. I don't think we can go in. The detail's amazing. So we've got the production side of things here. Milk being churned and processed and prepared. Very cool. And the sell point itself is just here on the end. Right, carrying on. Sorry, I'm just getting... I'm just taking it all in. So, from here... I'm gonna go... Oops, I think I might just knock the sign down. Won't be the first time I've done something like that, would it? We have got the supermarket sell point. Which is just here. And then we've got the spinnery. Which is this one? Just here. So, looking at the map, we went out and did all these here. We came back along to the sawmill at Lime Station and we crossed over. We then did the Railroad Silo West, Leaky Chocolatier, we did the shop, then went out to the Lime Station and Grain Mill, back along, Caesarea, Erlengrat, Supermarket, Spinnery. What we're going to do now is head out east up towards the biogas plant. And then what I might do is take a little drive out. I'm trying to think which way I want to go. Actually, I might do it on the way out now. We'll take a look at this one here, which is, again, it's not a sell point, but I think maybe they missed a trick on that. Maybe having a sell point up there would have been quite cool. It gives you somewhere else to go other than just in the town, I suppose. But, you know, again, I'm not the map maker, I'm just here to make up the numbers. So, where do I want to go from here? It is stunning, it really is. So I want to go... I love the lodges dotted around, and as you move up the hillsides as well into the alpine pastures, there's little lodges dotted around over the place. It's brilliant. So what we'll do when we get to the biogas plant is I will probably cut to... I'll need to prepare a couple of bits to show the train. I think I'm going the right way. Am I going the right way? Yeah. This, when you get out here as well, there's a load of features that really kind of stand out. There's a load of these kind of roadways on the sides where they've been kind of reinforced, and there's one further up which is actually a bridge with archways as well, and it's incredible. This is steep. You see what I mean though, about it being suspended, the platform suspended on the hillside. Amazing architecture. Now I did not knock that road sign down, that was not me. I cannot and will not be blamed for that one. So, what we have here is the Aventurin Business Centre. So business hotel. Fancy. And it is amazing looking. What an incredible building. And then the views out across the town as well. Very cool. Very cool indeed. Right. Biogas plant. You can see that over there. One of those roadways that sweeps around with the arches as well. Right off in the distance. There's one up on the hillside up here somewhere as well. I drove it in the pickup truck just to check out and see where it went. And there's a loop that runs from here all the way up, right up to the top. I mean, really high up. And then swings the way back down. I'm sure it was along... was it this stretch here? It's amazing. So, if you can hear that bone crunching sound in the background, farm dog's eating his kibble. Decided to do it really loudly today. Right, I'm going to see you back down the hill in a minute. I'm going to head back down the same way I came and we'll head out towards the biogas plant. I'm going to go this way rather than cutting out across there because I want to go past the train station. There's another road sign down there. It's not me doing this. I'm on the wrong side. I am the wrong side. Oh, I should have taken that turning. Apologies. The sound effects. Oh, blimey. It's amazing. Tourist Centre. ERLENGRAT Station. Ah, dearie me. Right. So, heading out along this road towards the viaduct. Aqueduct carries water, doesn't it? Pretty sure. Probably got that wrong. So, we'll cross back across the railway line and the river, I think. We'll do both? Yes, to the biogas plant. The biogas plant, when purchased, is a fairly standard price. I think it's $3.60. See the train going across the top there? Fantastic. And it takes manure and slurry as well. So here's the biogas plant. With our inputs into the digestate system. Again, this is reworked. It's a different one rather than the domed structures we've kind of got used to as well. It's a different sort of biogas plant. A couple of large bunker silos just there. And our digestate tanks collection point for our byproduct is just there. Now, we can't go much further from here. I say we can't go much further, of course we can, but I mean east, sorry. Because we come to the edge of the map. I was just trying to get a closer look at the cable cars run up the hillside, mountainside. But anyway, I mean that is the map. There's loads more to look at. Like I say, that's the main sell points. We've come all the way around, gone past the train station, out here to the biogas plant. So there's more roads. There's all these alpine roads and pastures and stuff to go and look at. But that's all the main sell points, and a couple of things that I wanted to show you. But what I'm going to do, you watch, it's going to work now. If I tab now, which I don't do very often, if I tab through the vehicles we have... Ah, on the train. Excellent stuff. Right. So, what we'll do is we'll slow right down, because we're actually coming up to where I am. Now, if you carry on, the train will get to the boundary of the map, top here, and it will say it's heading off. There we go. The train will now drive to Felsbrunn and will turn on the other side of the map. So that's what the train will do if you're on it, and it kind of dumps you out of the train a little bit. So that's going to head off again. So what I'm going to do is wait for it to come back around, jump on it, I'm going to set a couple of things up, and I'm going to show you something. So I'll see you in a second. So I've grabbed the train. One thing to remember with the train cars, if you are going to unload at a silo, well, this map doesn't have a sell point, but any of the maps that do, is make sure that you press on PlayStation, press triangle to switch through your tools, your implements, so you can change your train carriage. If you look top right hand corner, I can go right the way through them. So I'm now on the first train car, which is that one there, which I've now got over the point. If I open the cover, I'm now ready. Now often, if you want to stop the trains from going and you want to keep it in one place, if you just put something in it, it will stop. Otherwise it will keep running. That's not necessarily the case with this. So what we'll do is whiz round, because what I've also done, out of my silo, I have grabbed, on New Farmer you do start off with stuff in the silo. I have grabbed some soybean. So what we're going to do is pop the soybean in there, into the silo. And jump in our train. And L3, so yeah, 200,000 litre capacity. It will take all your main crop types, including potato, sugar beet and sugar cane. So we go across to our soybean, start, and we will load our soybean in, close the cover. Now, as I mentioned earlier, if we look at our sell points, there is a sell point there that says Felsbrunn Grain Mill, and as we've already seen when I jumped on the train a minute ago, when it gets to the top of the map, it doesn't do a loop round, it goes off to Felsbrunn. So that sell point is not on the map. That sell point, if you get a great demand, you get something, you know, great, good on there, you can put stuff on the train. We'll head off. We'll go through the train station and up to the top of the map. Now, this is great. I think it's a brilliant feature, and I don't mean to be picky, but again, I just feel they missed a trick a little bit. Because we used to have that system where you could put stuff onto a train and you could send the trains off. Was that 17 or 15? Might be 15. Then you got paid when you sent it off, then you got paid again when it reached its destination. That then disappeared. We didn't get that on, I'm sure it's, yeah, we didn't get it on 17. So this idea is great. I love the fact that you've got, whoa, we've got an off, there you go. The train will now drive to Felsbrunn and will return to the other side of the map. Do you want the train to sell the loaded goods at the grain mill in Felsbrunn? So if I press yes, that's great. But that little bit there, I'm a little bit disappointed with. Again, it's being picky and pernickety, I get it. Now, that's paid me as soon as that left the map edge. A delay, I think, would have just added a little bit something. You know, I know it does sound petty, it does sound a little bit, you know, but if you'd said yes, and the train goes, and you end up standing on the tracks like I just did, if it went off, and in about, well, a few minutes, a couple of minutes, before the train comes back onto the map edge the other side, you then get paid. If there's a bit of a delay, there's more of a feeling of kind of realism, that kind of feel of that's gone all the way to its destination and I've been paid. So the whole concept of it going off to Felsbrunn would have a little bit more impact. Does that make sense? Now, as we are here, we have got these race sections, so if you want to load the train up, you can bring the train alongside and help load on if you want to. That's just something I wanted to show it because I think it's a great feature. I love that idea of there being a sell point off the map. I just think with a little bit of a tweak, it could have been perfect. I'm just being honest. Bear with me a second. So, back in my Rigitrack, that's the little train bit shown that I wanted to show you. What we're going to do now is head out this side. I'm going to head up to the little restaurant. Well, it might be a hotel as well, hotel restaurant, because it's another, again, not a sell point, which it could have been, which might have been again a nice thing rather than all the sell points in the town go up out of the valley to, you know, to another sell point. But it is what it is. But it's just a nice feature, nicely detailed. Something nice to look at. And that's Erlengrat. That's the new map, part of the Alpine Farming Expansion DLC. I think it's brilliant. I think it's a lovely map and it's very immersive. It's got a great feel to it. The features are brilliant. That, again, that's going to be a personal preference. You may not particularly like it, but I think it's really cool. these switchback roads. But I think there is that situation where if there's not a sell point up here, how often are you going to come up here? You know, I think sell points, and when we used to have the coins or the gold nuggets to collect, it would force you to go to places around the map and take in all of the, you know, because you think the time and the effort that's gone into making all of this. If you do a lot of your farming over by your farm and the other side of the map on the hillsides and into the town, and don't ever come up here, you won't kind of get to see it and experience it. So, like I say, I don't know, but it's very cool. With nice views over the countryside, and that's where we will end it. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.